domestic product. It passed both houses of Congress with bipartisan support, and there was a reason. McConnell, like many Democrats and Republicans, were bought and paid for by the pharmaceuticals and healthcare lobbies. In 2019, there was a spike in pharma-linked giving to McConnell as he opposed drug pricing measures. About $85,000 was given to his campaign committee in the first half of 2019. In total, Big Pharma gave McConnell $2,032,241 through employees and PACs, because companies themselves can't legally donate. But this is a loophole which was Senator Elizabeth Warren's defense for being bought by the drug industry. And please see our video on Elizabeth Warren. McConnell's staggering personal wealth was built in part with the help of his second wife, Elaine Chao, whom he married in 1993. Chao later served as Secretary of Labor under President George W. Bush and Secretary of Transportation under President Donald Trump in his first term. From 2017 to 2018, Chao, as Transportation Secretary, managed DOT projects that favored Kentucky, which helped McConnell's image, since it created jobs, placing great suspicion of wrongdoing and favoritism. Several investigations, media reports, oversight group findings, American oversight reports, and OIG reports into Chao's favoritism produced emails showing coordination with McConnell's office and contractors in Kentucky who would be critical in his re-election bid. Then there is Chao's deep roots in China. In 2017, Chao planned a trip to China with her father, sister, and business associates to further the interest of her family shipping company, Foremost Group, which raised conflict of interest concerns. Once word got out, the trip was canceled. Her family shipping company, Foremost Group, has been under scrutiny for its business ties to China. Substantial cargo was shipped to and from China, and with little competition from U.S. shipping companies.
Hey, Monty, you there?
Yep.
What's up?
Hey, look, tell my partner what you was telling me just now.
Okay, the marina's CCTV feed shows the promoter guy has a green Taurus speedboat. If you can find it, the GPS system should tell us where it's been.
And look, if the phone ain't there, you can bet there's going to be something to lead us to the party where he's going to do the leak at.
Every step, and the OIG report flagged these as examples of abuse of office. Foremost builds vessels in Chinese shipyards that are deeply embedded in the China foreign trade and shipping ecosystem, but business for her family was exceptionally good. Criminal investigations were recommended stemming from the China-related ethics concerns and conflicts of interest, and referrals have happened. But the DOJ and U.S. Attorney's Office declined to open criminal investigations on some of these referrals. Allegations also arose in 2019 that Chao awarded $67 million to Kentucky projects at the expense of other states in greater need through McConnell's influence on the Appropriations Committee, and with Democrat support, no criminal charges were brought despite the evidence of wrongdoing, but the optics were bad. The corruption deepened after the removal and demotion of the IG, Mitch Van, investigating Chao's actions. His replacement was a user-friendly appointee who dropped the investigation. Also, Chao's office labeled hundreds of her appointments as private, even though held during working hours, in order to obscure congressional and legal oversight. She held onto shares in a company, Vulcan Materials, past the time she originally pledged to divest. All of this added to McConnell's 49% disapproval rating in 2017, the highest disapproval rating of any senator. In May 2019, McConnell's brother-in-law, George Hautogensis, who is married to Chao's sister, Grace, was confirmed by the U.S. Senate as director of the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation, or PBGC, a part of the Labor Department, and McConnell voted to confirm him. Critics say it is clear nepotism. After Joe Biden defeated Trump in the controversial 2020 election, McConnell at first refused to recognize Biden as the winner due to the glaring examples of voter fraud and illegal actions by certain states and cities. See our video on voter fraud. McConnell did not repeat Trump's claims of voter fraud, but he never contradicted them, ignoring questions about available evidence and instead arguing that Trump had the right to challenge the results. And that's true. As McConnell refused to to recognize Biden, he celebrated Republicans who won their Senate and House races in the same election. On December 15th, the day after the Electoral College vote, McConnell reversed his stance and publicly acknowledged Biden's win, saying, quote, "Today I want to congratulate President-elect Joe Biden," end quote. McConnell would not allow the evidence of voter fraud to be disclosed, which was available. On January 6, 2021, during the Electoral College vote count, McConnell spoke out against the efforts of Trump and his allies to have the election accountability. McConnell's oppositional posture softened under President Joe Biden when he supported expanding infrastructure spending and investment in semiconductors through the CHIPS and Science Act, among other measures that became law. But after Trump won his second term, McConnell, who is compromised to lobbyists, appeared to expose himself even deeper as a hypocritical rhino or Republican in name only when he voted against 3 of Trump's cabinet nominees. One of these, Pete Hegseth, for Secretary of Defense, due to his wanting to overhaul defense contractors, fleecing the taxpayers who have contributed heavily to McConnell over the decades to the tune of $1,169,160. He also opposed Tulsi Gabbard, former Democrat, for the Director of National Intelligence position, for wanting greater transparency in exposing government corruption. And he opposed Robert F. Kennedy Jr. for Secretary of Health and Human Services, who wants to rein in big pharma corruption, dark money, and hold all involved accountable. With the Lower Drug Costs Now Act was proposed, which would allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices, penalize companies that raise prices faster than inflation, limit out-of-pocket costs, McConnell opposed the bill. Why would he do that? This was around the time that he received large fundraising amounts from pharmaceutical executives and PACs whose companies would have been affected if the bill were passed. Examples are AbbVie, Bristol Myers Squibb, Pfizer, Sanofi, etc. McConnell took the money and voted accordingly. One report says McConnell got more than $50,000 from PACs and individuals tied to pharma after he blocked the drug pricing bill. McConnell was active in blocking bills that would reduce pharmaceutical profits or give the federal government more power to negotiate prices. But in fairness, he was not alone. Many others in Congress have large investment portfolios with these companies, as exposed by RFK Jr. against Senators Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren. McConnell joined others in opposing reforms aimed at reducing the influence of corporate money in politics, which protects the status quo for industries, especially big pharma and defense contractors, that spend heavily buying politicians. During his tenure, McConnell's foreign policy views had included support of sanctions on Cuba, Iran, and Russia, support of Ukraine during its invasion by Russia, opposition to the Iran nuclear deal, and support of Israel in its Gaza war. He voted for the Iraq resolution, which authorized military action against Iraq. In June 2025, he supported Israel in the Iran-Israel war and called for military intervention by the United States against Iran. During the 2020 and 2024 elections, McConnell denied Trump and MAGA-aligned Republicans challenging rhino incumbents and withholding PAC campaign funds, instead supporting such anti-Trump rhinos as Lisa Murkowski from Alaska, challenged by the conservative Kelly Tshibaka. McConnell and SLF worked to re-elect the Democrat in conservative clothing Murkowski and funded attacks on Trump supporter Tshibaka. Due to this betrayal, the Alaska GOP formally censured McConnell over it, and then Murkowski won via ranked choice, not popular vote, which she would have lost. It was rigged. When Republican pro-border security candidate Blake Masters challenged incumbent Democrat Mark Kelly for the Arizona Senate seat, McConnell and SLF cut and delayed millions in planned TV ads, supporting the Democrats instead. Masters lost. In the New Hampshire race, McConnell aided Democrats when he withheld financial support from retired General and Republican Don Bolduc against Maggie Hassan in the primary election. After Bolduc won the primary, SLF pulled its ad reservations rather than surge in behind him. He lost to incumbent Democratic Senator Jeanne Shaheen as planned. McConnell's detractors have called him by a number of nicknames, including Moscow Mitt, Cocaine Mitch, the Grim Reaper, Darth Vader, Rich Mitch, Nuclear Mitch, Midnight Mitch, Old Crow, and the Turtle. The name Moscow Mitch derived from his blocking of election security bills that would have required transparency around foreign influence in U.S. federal elections, something Democrats also publicly supported while they lied, led by Hillary Clinton and other Obama administration officials in claiming Trump used Russian influence to win in 2016. McConnell stepped down as Senate Republican leader in 2024, months after the 2024 United States elections, and he will retire. Senator John Thune was elected to succeed him after Republicans gained the majority in the 2024 U.S. Senate elections. McConnell has health issues, such as passing out during news conferences. But even in perfect health, chances are the Turtle would not have been reelected anyway. Mitch McConnell is just one of many notable examples of bought and paid for corrupt politicians, and he has earned a place on our list. He is worth $35 million. Not bad for a public servant with a thick stock portfolio, with investments into corporations where he has had voting leverage regarding their futures. Thank you for watching this episode of Forgotten History. If you liked what you saw, please click like, share, and subscribe. And if you would like to assist with the ever-increasing cost of production, please consider becoming a channel member and joining our Patreon page. Please check out our merchandise store. And thanks for watching.
Okay, we got Dre here, and we got the Diamond Casino.
Oh, ain't gonna be the big reveal then, huh?
Yeah, most likely. I'll have a look. Hey, don't you have a penthouse there?
Wait, man, you got a penthouse and a super yacht? Man, who the fuck did you rob?
According to my research, everybody.
Ha, now that's why you my motherfucking partner. Okay, but look, get your ass up out of here.